Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy in case you're new here, and in my previous video I promised that I'm going to bring a tutorial on how to make a liner for this crochet bag. Actually, it's going to be a liner that you can use to other crochet bags as well, but I just promised for this bag. So actually, if you're new to this video and this is the first video that you're seeing from me, I'm going to put a link to this bag in case you would like to make it as well. So if you're ready, let's get started. We will need to have the following materials for this liner: a ruler, and if you have a meter, that's really great as well, but if you have a ruler only, that's completely fine. Then we will need to have a couple of pins, a thread, we will need to have a needle. I'm going to use one of these only, so we don't have to have a lot. A scissor, a pen, and then a fabric. This one I have used previously in different projects, so this is kind of a leftover. However, this is going to be perfectly good for this project. And furthermore, we will need to have an iron. We will start by measuring the bag. So on the side, I have 18.5 centimeters. So 18.5 centimeters. And then in the bottom, I have 29 centimeters. Before you make the planning, first, just try to measure. If you have a small fabric like me, just try to measure if it would fit like this or this liner. For example, for me, if I fold it in this way, it would be too small. So just have a look before and kind of make a eye measurement. If you fold it, mine would fit only in this way. So I am going to fold it that the outer part is going to be up. I'm going to close it just like this, and then from the side just count 2 centimeters first, okay? So from the side 2 centimeters, and I'm going to mark it. Then I'm going to add the 29 centimeters, which is going to be the bottom part. So 29, this is the 29, and in the 0, I am again going to mark it. Then I'm going to add an extra 2 centimeters, just like this. I'm going to add another mark. So we have a couple of marks here, one from 2 centimeters, then at 29 centimeters, and then another at the next 29 centimeters. Okay, and now we're coming a little bit more lower, and I want to give an extra 2 centimeters here. Another 29 centimeters. And another 2 centimeters. And now with the top mark, I am going to make a line, so I will understand that this one is straight, just like this. You can make a little bit longer. Also, the next one at 2 centimeters. Okay, and then we come here at the beginning part. We're gonna make another one here. Okay, and then now in this line we have to measure, have a look. In this line we need to measure now 18.5 centimeters, which is going to be this part, the side of the, which is going to be this part, the side of the bag. so 18.5 centimeters. I'm just going to measure it here. Plus we need to add an extra 2 centimeters on this one as well. So 1 and 2, and mark it. I'm going to mark it in this one as well, so on an extra line. So 18.5, and then we are gonna make 2 centimeters later at 20.5 as well, another mark. So we have already 2 marks here. And then on the other side as well, we're gonna make one at 18.5 and then at 20.5. And then now we just need to connect these lines. And now I'm just going to add a couple of pins, so at least the fabric is not going to be moving. So in this line where we have the inner line, okay, this one, I'm just gonna add here a pin, then here a pin, here on the side, also in the inner line. And then here, again in the inner line. So we at least added 4 pins. If you want, you can add more. So at least it's nicely keeping it in a place. Okay, and now we are going to cut it out in the outer line, only in this one, okay? Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna cut a little bit from this, so make it a little bit straighter. Perfect. So we just need to have the thread and the needles. Perfect. We pull it out. One of the thread I'm leaving slightly longer. Have a look. Well, the one that is slightly longer, I'm going to bring it to around my finger, fold it 2 times, and then roll it down. And pull it down. So it's kind of creating this stopper, so when I start doing the stitches, this one wouldn't flip out. So this is going to be the longer part. And I'm going to make the stitches. So we're going to first stitch this side up until the top, and in this side until the top as well. This part don't stitch yet, okay? So just this side and this side. I'm going to start in the bottom here. It's just going to be like this. And this little dot that we just created is going to stop it. And now I'm going to come back the same point where this little stopper was. I'm going to insert it in the next, kind of like the same distances. And then I'm coming back to this point where we had the previous one. You see that where we came out. We come in again here. Same distance coming out. Again, going in where we came out. Same distance. Again, next one. Going in where we came out. And the same distances, we are going to make stitches up. You don't need to pull them too much because then it's going to wrinkle the fabric. And once we reach to this point where the needles are, obviously you can remove the needles because this is just keeping it together until we reach to that point. And now we're going to continue until the end, until to this point. Don't do this point, okay? So we're just going to do it until the end here. I'm just reaching up here into the top part, okay? Here I'm going to make a couple of more stitches at the same point because I want it to be nice and fixed so it doesn't come out, doesn't flip out. So just going to make a couple of. Okay, then I'm going to do some cross stitches as well. Going to pull it through. Kind of want to make it sure that it doesn't come out. Okay, once it's done, we can cut the thread. And now we will need to do the same exact stitches coming up here until the top, but don't do again this part, okay? So just do it the same way like we did it in this other side. Once we are done with both of the two stitches together, both of the two sides, have a look what we're going to do. So have a look where we have the lines here. We're going to be folding to the line point out, so on the corner part. On the other side as well. We just want to make sure that it's until the line comes out. Okay. Just like this, so both sides, okay? And then here we are going to use an iron to make it nice and flat. Now that we iron them together, actually it's going to keep it nicely in a place. We're going to twist it to the other side. I'm twisting it because these stitches actually looks much better from this side. So we're going to fold it back where we had the ironing part. Like this. If we want, we can actually add the pins. It's going to keep it nicely in place as well. I'm gonna add 2 pins per side, 1 and 2, and then to the other side as well. And then we will need to do stitches from this side going to the other side and then coming to this side as well. Under no circumstances stitch these two together, so just stitch the upper part together, turning point, and only the bottom part, the same way like we stitched before. And this time, because we have this kind of like this little stopper, I don't want it to be visible, so I'm going to come from the inner part, so to nicely hide it, at least I also see like how much space I have. I'm going to be inserting and try to make it in the same line and try to make it aesthetically like the same sizes of stitches until the whole end point. And in the end point we are going to be turning around and going to make the stitches until we will meet this thread, sorry. So we are going to just make nice and little stitches until we meet the other side. Try to make it as straight as possible. And now that we are done with all the stitches all around, obviously if you're doing with a machine it's much more straighter. However, I have no other options, so now we're going to twist it out so that the other side would be, this would be up, okay? And now we can get the bag and we are going to be inserting inside the two corners on the side. Obviously you put it down till the corner part, okay, just like this, okay. And now we are going to stitch it together, so we're going to stitch it inside the bag. So we're going to get again the thread and the needle, okay. Again we did this kind of stopper, so we have to make sure that this is longer, okay. And then I'm going to add it from the back, so at least it's nicely hidden. And you want to kind of stitch it on the top, so for sure it will be nicely holding onto the bag. So I'm going to first do the first stitches here in the corner. Make sure that it doesn't really go through to the other side, so just work on the inner stitches. And then we are going to it just the same way like we did until, but we have to find the points that it's easy that the needle passes through. So just like this, and we have to stitch it together until this point, and then until we turn back and reach back to the original point where we started. Just like this. Make sure always that you're keeping in the top part and that it also goes through. Because sometimes it could feel like it goes through and then you don't actually get a stitch. Yeah, we are nicely stitching on the bag. So continue like this until we reach back to the original starter point. So have a look, we have just finished with the stitches. It's handmade. Obviously if you're making with machine it's more straight, however I think compared that it's handmade, it's quite nice and it's very much durable. It's fixed, it doesn't want to come off, and it's nice and it's exactly the same size as the bag. So I hope that it helped you, and obviously if you have any tips, just don't forget to share it with me under in the comment section below. I love when we manage to improve each other, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for future tutorials as well. And if you would like to support me with the yarn, you can do it in a Buy Me a Coffee webpage, which I placed the link below this video, and also find the link for this bag as well. If you would like to crochet this bag, you haven't done it yet, but this is your first video that you join me, so you can also find linked the video for this bag as well. So thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Take care for now, and I'll see you very soon.